If I could shoot one thing for the rest of my career, it would be a bar scene. Not because bars have beer and I like beer, but bars have cool vibes and cool lights, and it makes lighting breakdowns like this quite entertaining. Bar scenes are fun. I love bar scenes. So I want to talk to you about this project I got. This is again from the film Homecoming that I DP'd a couple months back. And this was a really cool bar scene, which I can't show much of, but I do want to break down kind of what is going on here, because there's a lot of strategy and thought that went into this. We knew a lot of people were going to be in different places and there's going to be dialogue happening throughout. And that's something that gets difficult. I find a lot of the times when I dive into shooting, I'll just kind of light what looks good immediately, and then your talent will move to somewhere else and it looks terrible. So what we did in this particularly is sit with the director, the AD, everybody, and just block this all out, find out who's going where, and then I was able to go in from there and figure out and talk with my gaffer and the rest of my G&E team of where are we trying to put nice lighting? Where are we trying to have people walk into or fall into that is going to be nice, that looks continuous on both the wide and the tights when we move in? That's the hard part. And I do want to say this is not the final grade. This is just me doing it 3 seconds ago. So I want to talk about this, because with the wide, we can break down everything from there. We kind of see everything that is in this shot. Even looking at the diagram of this, it's very overwhelming. You see colors, you see a lot of things going on, and there's not really one way to start this. I do know that a lot of the action was going to be happening in this booth that's in this back corner. That's where a lot of the action is going to be happening. The main characters are going to be there. That's where the majority of the dialogue is going to be. So let's go ahead and start there. What you see here is a few different lights going on. Mainly, we've got this neon sign that looks great right there. That was kind of set design that already existed there. Same with the neon sign on the other side. So I knew that we were going to kind of be following a lot of this neon sign vibes. So narrowing into the booth, let's just talk about the lighting that we see here. The majority of it, especially on some of these closes and all of that, it's mainly lit by blue. And I did that because I wanted this booth to feel like a safe place, which is as much as I can say into the story. That was difficult because this neon sign above them was fixed in place. We couldn't move it, and that was red, which is the polar opposite of that. And what we opted to do for this is you see this glow that's coming from kind of from up here, and that is our first light that we put in there, because I was like, let's start with the blue and kind of shape from there. So that light that we've got rigged up there is an Amaranth F22C, and that we just set to, you know, kind of like a cyan blue or a deep blue. And on that, we just had the softbox, but the important part was that we put the grid on it, because the grid is going to keep it from spilling everywhere. We kind of just wanted to shoot it in to this scene, into the booth, and not spill above and below and to the side and all of that. So that was the main driving force that you see kind of throughout the entire bar, is a lot of this blue vibe going on. But that wasn't obviously the only light that we could add in here. There's actually a lot, because we wanted this to be a really colorful, welcoming, hip, fun bar. So that's kind of the goal that we're going for, with all of this color spattered throughout. So moving in, I think one of the drawing attentions here is this pool table that we've got going on here, or I guess I should say 2 pool tables that we've got going on here. And that was fun because in those red, I guess lampshades or whatever we want to call them, lights, the fixtures up there, originally there's just bright white fluorescent tubes that were tough to control and just a pain in the ass and way too bright. So what we did, we actually just removed the fluorescent tubes out of the fixture, and we just replaced it with some aperture infinity bars. The benefit of that was that we could just dial in the exact color that we wanted to make the pool tables look this kind of really nice green color. Actually, the fabric on the pool tables was tan. So that's what's really fun about having fixtures that are full color. We can just go into Link and look at the monitor and be like, oh, this is exactly what we want, lock it in there, and that's one of the benefits. So we've got that blue light, we've got that cyan light, we'll call it, above the pool tables. Another one I want to talk about that's really fun is that purple that's back there. And that was just to add a little bit more depth. We had art department stick up the like glimmery curtains that are there just because there were ugly posters behind it. And behind that, I was like, okay, I want to add a little bit more depth there. We had somebody coming in and out of there a lot. So I wanted some sort of lighting back there and colorful, fun lighting. So I talked with my gaffer and I was like, hey, whatever you got, throw it up. That's purple. I think I want purple right now. And he threw up an Amaranth F21C, and he just armed that over on a little boom arm or a C-stand arm. And that was nice because we could just dial in again inside us like the exact purple that we were looking for. And we settled for that being a really nice glow. That just adds a nice pop of color and a little bit more depth into the frame. And then the last thing that we've really got going on here is you see this red glow coming from the corner. That was just to, balance out the contrast of you've got the blues and the reds that are going on this side. So I was like, okay, this sign is blue. Again, we couldn't move that. So let's just have another blue and a red combo as well. So that was the first thing that we did when we got into the scene. I was like, let's set up the wide because there's a lot of different angles of coverage that we need to go for. So I told everybody, I was like, we need to start with this just so we know what everything is going to look like, so our G&E team can know what everything is going to look like. But when we move in to all of these closes, then we can shape it from there. As we're switching around and moving around, some of these key lights are going to be the color of the edge lights when we flip around. So it's helpful to know what is coming from where, which brings us to some of these tights. I mean, this one was really fun. So this was him just stepping away to talk on the phone call. And this is exactly what I'm talking about with having to know where your light is coming from. I knew that blue was coming from the frame right. So I needed to keep that blue coming from that frame right. So we didn't do too much. I think what we did is we took another Amaran F22C that was on the ground, and we just bounced out off of a 4x4 muslin, just off of the wall essentially that was right in front of him. And we just bounced it back onto him because the Amaran itself wasn't quite soft enough. And that just gave that really nice kind of edgy wrap. It was very soft, very beautiful, which looks really nice bouncing color off of Muzz. I don't know, there's something nice to it. It has a really nice quality. Again, you can see that neon sign now that's in this background. So we just played off of that. Same with the blue one that's back there. And now you're starting to see the red fixture there. And that was an Amaran PT4C tube that we just stuck in there. And again, just threw that up on Cytoslink and you brought it straight to red just to get that color balance there. So you're starting to really see these pockets of like, you've got light here, you've got dark here, you've got a little bit of light here as well. It's just that checkerboard effect that you're just getting across the whole. And then this edge light that you see here on his hand, on his neck, we just brought over that tube that was on the pool table and we just took it out of the fixture and just put it through. I think we just put it through a little bit of diffusion or bounced it off some white bounce as well, just to make it a little bit softer, acting like it's just bouncing off the pool table. Oh, and one thing that I didn't mention is looking back at the wide, and again, you can see it in all the tights, is we had a disco ball there. And that was just the bar's disco ball that we had turned on, and just adds a little bit more dimension. I think I was motivated by some Euphoria scenes off of that one, just having some disco lights spinning around, just add a little bit more to that busy bar feel and a little bit more texture and excitement. And then again, on some of these tights here, I mean, you can see how this neon sign was playing really nicely kind of onto his forehead, onto this chair here. It wasn't really much that we needed to do on top of it. I believe we just had that flex light that was coming up from the ceiling, giving this blue cast throughout the scene. And then just having this color and some of these edge lights here, just this little separation between the red and the blue here, gives a nice little, I guess, color contrast and a little bit more separation too. And then we had a little B-roll session to end the day here, and this was just people playing pool. We had the break, and then we had a little bit of fun, razzle dazzle, we'll call it. People just hanging out, laughing, having a good time. And that was just really nice because we had the lighting set up that was for the wide play, just how it was. We didn't really need to do much shaping for it because I was just flying around on Easy Rig. And it's nice to be able to really set up your lighting to be able to have, in a way, this kind of full 360-degree scene to where you can kind of shoot everything if you need to and then shape it as you need to. And that's what we did with the bar, because I think it was like 8 hours to load in, shoot everything that we needed to, which was I think 4 or 5 pages, and then load out all within the 8 hours. So it was a lot to do in a little time. And again, it comes down to just lighting the entire scene. So just in case you run out of time to be able to shape every individual scene, you at least have this wide scene that's going to cover your back as well. I really did like playing around with this, and again, I couldn't do it without my G&E team and everybody else who played a part on this film especially. But that's all. I just wanted to break this down for you. This was a really, really fun project. I can't wait for you guys to see it. Can't wait to share it with you. So I'm about to go pack because I got to leave for Europe in like 2 days. I'm not even started packing, so wish me luck on that. But anyway, toodles. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hasta luego. Bye-bye.